この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Eizouken ni wa Teodasuna episode 9. Last week we had the cultural festival, which was wonderfully bright and colorful and really energetic with some cool chase sequences and ziplining and some great moments from Ono. And then we put on a show and revealed our Robot vs. Crabtle anime to the world and not just the people at school, but also to Mizusaki's parents, who, well, our core conflict for her kind of got resolved. They're down for her becoming an animator because they've realized that really she's doing exactly what they want her to, in that she's going on screen and acting, but she's doing it through the stage of interpretation that she's really good at. And it was really heartwarming and wonderful and wholesome. And I don't know where we go from here. We've got other characters that we can focus on, so that's a possibility. There is the chance that given that we put on one performance and that's like, oh, that's pretty cool, and then we've put on two good performances, now we're probably getting a little bit of a reputation, probably getting known around school a little bit. Maybe we'll get another commission, or maybe we'll be able to be free and branch out and do something that we want to do. I kind of hope so. We'll see. We're about 3/4 of the way through Eizouken, so I don't know how quickly we're going to accelerate into like endgame for this season, and I know that the manga is ongoing, so there might not be like a super perfect ending spot unless they move things around or change things. I don't know. But we're kind of at a standstill now, and so it's up to the show to give us our next step. Where do we go from here? What are we focusing on? And what are we going to learn and find out about and do and animate, and how is it going to impact us emotionally? I kind of hope that we focus on Kanamori and like what her whole deal is. Like, she's been introduced to us as a very interesting character with a very specific focus on money and the perfect producer archetype, but we don't know anything about her or her family or where she comes from or where this mindset came from, and I think it would be really interesting to investigate that kind of stuff. We could also dive deeper into Asakusa and like find out more about her. I don't know, or we could just end up continuing to work together, having little mini conflicts in between and learning new pieces of animation tech and skill and knowledge and doing other commissions and things. I don't know. The show can do whatever the hell it wants at this point. It has thoroughly convinced me. I guess I should stop blathering. We should just find out. Yeah? All right. I have Eizouken episode 9 up and ready to go. It's 0 seconds. There will be 2 versions of this reaction as usual. You can find a picture-in-picture version with a video up there, linked in the description, and a timer-based version up on YouTube. If you want to do a syncy thing and sync up your own copy of the episode with the timer-based version, you are welcome to do so. Just get your copy ready because the beep beep timer to count you down will be coming at you now. Pourin'. All right, we're focusing on gutters and how they're carrying. Oh, the sound of it. Oh, Soundburu, eh? Is that so? I wonder who. Hmm? The music's so cool. That's too many. That's way too many. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, Sepak Takra would be cool. Yeah, fuck off. Let's not. Good. Nah, scheduling. Oh yeah, we made some money off of it. We only made 10k yen. Welcome to production committees. I see where we're going with this, maybe. Yeah, if we were working normal jobs, we would be making lots of money, but we're not. Gotta pick our jobs carefully. You can sink your studio real fast by picking up a property that won't go anywhere. Jesus. Yep. Shkash. What's that? Hmm. Hmm. So we're going to Comic A? Yush. Oh, that's perfect. All right, so we're taking this show on the road, eh? Comet A is clearly Comic A, right? I hope we get to see it. Tons of booths, selling DVDs, selling bootlegs, selling dojins. So we're gonna sell the DVDs that we already have. Not gonna make a new thing, right? Yet. Okay. Hmm. City layouts. Oh, cool. That is rather interesting. That was kind of a cool cut. What? Goodbye, electrical infrastructure. Imagination running wild. Good man? That's. Here's some Eva stuff. I don't know. Ski boots. I wonder if those will make an appearance later in the episode. Was that a person? And money. Hmm. It's a scary kappa. What? Okay. Hmm. The rust on those doors is awesome. The best kind. I want to see that again. Hold on. 620. Fuzz? There was some weird stuff going on with focus in that sequence. Hello. And he knows you. He looks like a classic otaku. Okay. Oh, yeah, who's that guy? This guy gets it. This guy gets it. This tea is too hot, so I poured it into a small glass. Yeah, no, that sounds gross. We're gonna make an analogy between this and anime, right? Hmm. Huh. What a strange shop. Is it about cooking? Let's hear it. So it's you. Okay. Sure. We're gonna turn this into like Sakura Quest or some sort of let's revitalize a place. Hmm. Okay, so now we're in the... Yeah, we haven't come up with a new idea together. Posts? Yeah, no, that's important marketing. True. Instead of cheese? Why? Why butter? Mmm. Gotta use what you got. Damn, right there is. Mm-hmm. It's starting. Yeah. And it's exactly what studios have been doing in over the course of the past decade, specifically the past like 5 years. Super critical. Okay. Oh, whoa! Did you see that? Cause I need to see that again. It's CG, right? With hand painted textures? That is nuts. Hello, Chibimori. It's a mini Kanamori. We are diving into Kanamori. Sweet. Huh. Aww. Got a head on her shoulders. Giving her a task. Huh. Always thinking. And she's the opposite. Ah. Ding. Oh. Hey, hey, hey. They sure do. I love the style of this whole flashback sequence. Damn right we do. She's just there in the background. Ha ha ha. Right. We'll be back. Fuck. A beloved place falls apart. Wow. Just shock. Oh. Money makes the world go round. Wow. I said it at the beginning. I would love to understand how she got to who she is, and now we get it. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. The cool undergrounds. Sweet. Awesome. Double awesome. Okay. So the town itself is your main character? And the track kicks in. Oh man, we're back on the grind. Got the art club. Working with them. more. Hi. Hmm. Nice. Now just convince them that it's good for tourism. So that was the meeting. We are doing a Sakura Quest type of local revitalization thing. Brilliant. Of course she did. Look at that face. Look at that face. She knew exactly what she was doing. Turning it into literal construction. That's CG as well. How? That's not a standard plugin. Oh boy. Alright, that's pretty cool. Where's the cool stuff? Come on. Yeah, but it's cooler. Shut up, make it cool. Impacto. Impacto. Hey. Ah. Oh. Well, that's getting gift. I have no idea what she just said. Performed? Okay. Sure. Challenge? How do we convey that that's what actually happened? Ah. Ah. Damn right. Target practice. Oh my god. Ah. Oh my god, the episode's over. Okay. Where does the time go? Okay, talk about some stuff. Extended flashback. And then it's just straight into the insanity of the world. There was some crazy character animation in this episode. Especially around Asakusa. Ooh! That's really cute. That's like really cute. I assume that Mari Motohashi is a member of staff. I'll take a second to look it up. Alright, and an Eizouken. Control F, Motohashi. Oh! Storyboard episode 1 and 7 matches. Episode director, episode 1, along with Yuasa, of course. And second key animation for episode 8. Assistant director. Okay, cool. And end card illustration for episode 9. Nice. As well as another key animation credit. Cool. Cool. Super cool. Lovely. Awesome. I think this is really cute. I love the color choices, and honestly, I don't normally like hair gradients, but I like these hair gradients. They're really cute, and Mizusaki looks really cute. It's great. Okay, losing faculties of speech. Okay. Boy, oh boy, there are some interesting things in this episode, like tech and portrayal of things wise. For certain, this whole flashback sequence is super unique. They really doubled down on the kind of like not up to the borders watercolor style, where there are segments of the whole thing that are just like left uncolored. It gives it this kind of sketchy impression that goes even a stage or two further beyond what Yuasa shows usually do with color and shape being a little bit off, a little bit worn or weathered or sketchy in their aesthetic, which makes them to me feel a little bit more real than like crisp clean animation. And they're using the lack of color around the edges to create highlights and lighting and shadow. It's really unique, and I kind of really love the aesthetic of it all throughout this sequence. It's just gorgeous. But and then there's the CG stuff, which I need to look at again, which is amazing. But before we dive into nitty gritty about like visual stuff, we gotta talk about this whole Kanamori segment. I said at the beginning that I think it would be really cool if we dove a little bit deeper into this crucial character, one of our main three. We've, for the most part, resolved Mizusaki's major conflict with her parents, in as far as there was one. But we don't know that much about Kanamori until this episode. We find out a ton about her from this simple, like, combined, like, mass hallucination flashback of her experiences going and working for tips for little bits of money at a little mom and pop shop, a place that as she goes there and discovers that they're closed on a cold day, we discover from the way that she's acting and interacting with these people that she really loves this place. And it kind of raises more questions like, where is home for her and why is she allowed to leave it so frequently to go and work at this place? It almost strikes me as like a home away from a less than ideal home, a place where she can go and just like be okay. But none of that is ever stated, and there's no real indication that that's necessarily the case. So we can just like hand wave and let that go for now. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a little bit more depth on what her home life was like before this, but in the tradition and in a very similar way to the sequences we get with Mizusaki and her grandmother, we just see bits and snippets, pieces that create an emotional story here, and a wonderful one. We have Kanamori becoming more and more enamored with her own ability to make money. She clearly has a good head for business from the very beginning. She understands how to do things in a way that will get money, and is, immediately comes to the idea of like, oh, all the other stores are closed. You should be open just in case, because then you'll be the only people making money. And besides, hot foods and things sell. There are probably people coming through who need somewhere to go, and they're supportive of her and her own fiscal desires and things, but it doesn't stick. It doesn't set in that particular portion of her character quite yet. Yes, she's a little bit greedy. Yes, she's a little bit super interested in money, but it's the moment when she realizes that without money, everything you have can fall apart. This place that she goes to that is important to her, that she cares about going to, that she's always able to go to, is shutting down because the business doesn't quite work out. There are no customers. They can't bring people in, and this imprints this desire or need or understanding that you have to be ruthless in business. You have to be ruthless in finance. And this gets stuck in her mind. It engraves it into her brain. And all of that is conveyed so wonderfully with such simplicity. It is a fantastic sequence. It's just stellar. Okay. Moving along. I need to see. Okay, there's the first CG sequence is this one. All right. How? but but how? But but how though? There's a specific look that plugin, I forget what it's called, that draws your CG models as though they're 2D characters. You see it pretty frequently. There's a specific look that it has, and this doesn't have that look. This is unique, and I don't know how they're doing it, and I'm really interested in how they're doing it. Like, these are the same hand-painted textures that are throughout the show and throughout this whole sequence, and they're being applied to CG something so that they can use dynamic camera for these shots. And you can tell because the angle on everything changes simultaneously, which is so close to impossible to do by hand, that this isn't hand background animated. But it's so good. How is it so good? Okay, and we do this going through here. This is some of the most beautiful use of dynamic camera I've ever seen, and it's used for exposition and like what do you call it? when you have a shot of environment, and you're setting up the setting. I don't remember what it's called. What the fuck? Yeah, our angle on them is changing. No, those might be flat. I'm so amazed by so many things in this whole sequence. That's just really cool. Okay. I can stop gushing about that because it's really cool, but there's no way I'm gonna figure out how it was done just staring at it. I hope that somebody will know more than I do and throw some information my way. In any case, I love this whole sequence. I love it from a character perspective. I love it visually. It's really interesting and unique and different, and it stands out from the rest of the show. Um, it's almost the ideal world brought to life in this whole sequence in through the lens of memory, and it's so clear when we see the characters themselves sitting there and looking at it. There's this visual distinction between what they're seeing through the lens of Kanamori's memory and what they actually are and what the world actually looks like. Wow. Okay, and then of course there's this shot where we cut out all of the background and start slowly fading out the noise, and there's this very sluttle sluttle for the promiscuous individual who likes to keep it on the down low. Sluttlety. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. But there's this really subtle I almost said it again, slow zoom out from her as everything just sinks in, and we hold on this forever. It feels like an eternity as their voices fade out, and she sort of looks around and finds herself helpless. And in this moment we realize, or she realizes, that without money and without the knowledge and ability to make it, everything can fall apart. How did Kanamori get to who she is? Boom, right there. She had the mind for business. She had the desire for the funds. She didn't quite have the reason to need them. And now she watches some people who she loves lose everything that they have because they didn't have that head on their shoulders. Boom, done. Done and done. Awesome. Throughout the episode, character acting all throughout, real interesting. There's also tons of cool stuff with like zoom and point of focus. That's just super fascinating. And then we move into making it all happen, and it goes a lot more smoothly this time, which is one of the great things about doing the same kind of thing repeatedly. They've got the studio that they, in terms of like what an anime studio would be doing, they've got the studio that they outsource their backgrounds to. They know how to set their time schedule together so that they can actually do the animation stuff that they want to do and come up with the ideas that they want to do, and things like that. And Kanamori is the one who goes out and finds and secures funding for them. The idea of getting a town or a location or a business to sponsor your anime is something that's been done a few times over the past I don't know, decade or two, and I think to great success. The one that comes to mind is I believe is Sakura Quest, which I mentioned during the reaction. Sakura Quest. It's described as part of PA Works. Yeah, it's a particular agricultural town of Manoyama. Yeah. PA Works did a bunch of these. Working series stories, which tells the stories about people and their jobs. But I believe it's a real place, and I believe it was actually sponsored by the place, the thingamajiggy. There are other shows like that. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I'm sure that other people know more than I do, which is totally fine, because I don't know shit. All right. I just slipped into that accent and then stuck with it. The little bits of character acting in these sequences are awesome, and especially around Asakusa. I don't know what the hell she's doing in this sequence, but the way she's animated almost is, I don't know why I'm putting it this way, but it's almost South Parky. It's super goofy and weird, and she goes from normal anime goblin into an almost chibi anime goblin aesthetic a couple of times over the course of these sequences, and it's kind of awesome. Some great Kanamori faces throughout the episode, and some wonderful other stuff. But oh yeah, this is CG2. I think it's just too consistent on the shapes of everything. I might be totally wrong. I cannot tell. We've gotten to that point, man. We've gotten to the point where I can no longer just look at things and be like, oh yeah, CG. Nope, could be wrong. Hot damn, there are cool designs in this show, though. I don't know what they're doing with this this sound effect, but it sounds real cool. And then, okay, we drop out the background entirely again, and we get this whole sequence of the nuttiest, weirdest character animation. And because they dropped the background out, it'll be pretty easy for people who are of that mind to go ahead and GIF any of this stuff. So get to it, internet. Get on that. And then we have a big ol' revelation, an epiphany for Asakusa. It's all a performance. Kind of the same thing that Mizusaki realized last episode, but in her own way, in a different way. She figures that she needs to perform through all of the things that she's trying to create. And that leads her to doubling down on the idea that the gunshot or the laser beam shouldn't be visible, but we can give the effect of it, and in fact make an even stronger effect by not having a visual device, but having awesome things like it's gearing up to release this burst of energy, and will show through juxtaposition that it's the thing that shot down the UFO, and it'll be really cool, and it'll be really crazy because you don't even see the beam coming out of it. You just see this like goosh. Awesome. That's super cool. And then the episode just sort of ends. Also, there's even more of the goofy kind of Asakusa being awesome stuff. It's really cool. Yeah. And there's the chibi Asakusa, the chibi goblin that I was talking about. I want that, but as like an Uncle Sam Wants You poster. I need it. I need it. Oh man. This is gonna be a cool one. Giant citywide UFO fights with the city itself being the landscape of combat. Fucking awesome. Okay, we focus on sound at the beginning, sound effects on the thing. Right. Lots of offers. Just making sure I didn't super miss anything super important. I don't think I did. But talking about the difficulties of making money as an animation studio, that's probably near and dear to everyone on the staff's part, or heart. The comparison that they make that like if we were working normal jobs, we would have made 1.8 million yen just because of the incredible amount of overtime and extra work that we've put into this this anime, and yet we made about 10,000 yen. That really drives it home, doesn't it? This is not the industry you want to get into if you're trying to make moolah. Okay. I wrote down 620 fuzz. Okay, yeah, it's here. I'm looking at the line between the whites of their eyes and the color of their skin to try to determine what's in focus during this sequence. It's really interesting. It appears to me that like as the characters are moving toward the camera, they're coming out of focus, which makes sense if our focus point is right where Mizusaki is right now, or a little bit before it. Like right about there. Because Asakusa is a little bit out of focus. She's just a little bit fuzzy. There's some interesting stuff going on with that. Okay. And then I wrote down 11 for, I think that was the CG stuff, right? Yeah, okay. Cool. Cool. Fruit ramen. That sounds fucking weird. This is awesome. I'm looking forward to this this piece of animation that they're doing coming to fruition. This was a stellar episode, and managed to have some really awesome character moments for Kanamori in particular throughout this flashback sequence. Again, demonstrating really effective storytelling. I think the author of this manga is way too good at that, and just sort of hats off. Looking forward to this anime coming to fruition. We'll see in a couple of episodes, I assume. In any case, let's wrap up. I've been Teeaboo. This has been Eizouken episode 9. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. If you have info on any of the tech or like skills or ideas that they were using for the weird, awesome CG sequences, I would love to know more about that because it looks super unique, and I would love to see whatever the hell they're implementing implemented more. And if you have any information in particular on who did some of the character acting in this episode, I think that would be fun to know as well. All right, that'll be a wrap. See you next week. Peace.